In 1995, a mysterious black and white video began circulating around the world. The footage was allegedly leaked from Area 51 and was said to show an autopsy being performed on an alien body recovered after the famous Roswell incident. The tape became so controversial that documentaries and television specials were later made to investigate whether it was real or an elaborate hoax. In the video, a team of medical personnel wearing protective suits examines a strange humanoid body and removes several internal organs while documenting the procedure. Because nobody could verify where the footage came from, debates about its authenticity quickly spread across the world. For years, researchers, UFO enthusiasts, and journalists tried to find evidence that could prove whether the tape was genuine. Then, years later, filmmakers connected to the project claimed that the footage had been staged. According to them, the alien was a specially made prop built to resemble an extraterrestrial body. They said animal organs bought from local butcher shops were placed inside the model to make the autopsy scenes more convincing. They also recreated old filming techniques and shot the footage in a way that would resemble a decades-old government recording. But the mystery didn't end there. Many people accepted the explanation and considered the tape one of the most successful hoaxes ever created. Others believed the confession itself was suspicious and argued that the filmmakers were pressured into calling it fake. Personally, I think the hoax explanation makes more sense. If the footage truly showed a real alien autopsy, it's difficult to imagine authorities allowing it to remain available across the internet for decades. Yet even today, the video can still be found and continues to spark debate. A mysterious video surfaced on YouTube in 2018, and before long, people began claiming that the man in the footage had died while standing up. At first glance, the rumor almost seems believable. The video shows a man standing completely motionless in what appears to be a busy shopping center. People gather around him, staring, but he doesn't react. A short time later, paramedics arrive and place him onto a stretcher. Even then, he barely moves, remaining so rigid that some viewers compared him to a mannequin. The clip quickly spread across the internet, and dozens of theories followed. But the real explanation appears to be far less mysterious. According to reports that later surfaced online, the man had reportedly consumed an extreme amount of alcohol and was in a severely intoxicated state. By the time people began recording, he was barely responsive, which explains why he remained almost completely motionless throughout the incident. Eventually, he was taken away by paramedics, bringing an end to one of the internet's strangest viral rumors. On February 25, 1957, a young boy's body was discovered inside a cardboard box in a wooded area near Philadelphia. He appeared to be no older than 4 to 6 years old. There were no witnesses and no clues pointing to who he was. Investigators searched for answers, but every lead came to a dead end. The only items found with the boy were a blanket and a few pieces of clothing. Despite one of the largest investigations in the city's history, his identity remained a complete mystery. Over time, the case became known simply as the boy in the box. He was also remembered as America's unknown child. His grave became a symbol of one of the country's most heartbreaking unsolved cases, but investigators never gave up. In 1998, the boy's remains were exhumed in the hope that DNA technology could finally identify him. Fortunately, the available technology wasn't advanced enough to produce any answers. In 2019, the remains were exhumed for a second time. Although decades had severely degraded the DNA, forensic experts spent years recovering enough genetic material to build a usable profile. Finally, on December 8, 2022, researchers were able to identify the boy as Joseph Augustus Zarelli. After more than 6 decades, the little boy finally had his name back. While investigators revealed his identity, they did not publicly identify anyone responsible for his death. One detail that continues to fuel speculation is that no known missing person report was ever filed for Joseph. Because of this, many people have wondered whether his parents or other family members knew more than they ever revealed. By the time Joseph was identified, both of his parents had already passed away. As a result, investigators could no longer question them directly about what happened. Although his identity has finally been uncovered, investigators still don't know who was responsible for his death. February 19, 2013, Los Angeles. The hotel maintenance worker was called after guests kept complaining about the water. They said it tasted strange and the water pressure had become unusually low. As the worker climbed onto the roof of the Cecil Hotel, he opened one of the large water tanks. Inside was the body of 21-year-old Elisa Lamb, a Canadian student who had been missing for nearly 3 weeks. Just days before her disappearance, Elisa had been caught on the hotel's elevator security camera. The footage quickly spread across the internet. She repeatedly pressed multiple buttons, stepped in and out of the elevator, looked nervously into the hallway, and made unusual hand gestures before suddenly walking away. Shortly after, she vanished. The discovery of her body shocked the world. But the biggest question remained, how did she get there? At first, many believed something sinister had happened. Online theories claimed she was being followed, targeted, or even involved in something supernatural. The strange elevator footage only fueled those rumors, but the official investigation told a different story. Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and had reportedly not been taking her prescribed medication consistently before she disappeared. Investigators concluded that she likely experienced a severe mental health episode, which explained her unusual behavior in the elevator. They also determined that she could have accessed the rooftop using the hotel's exterior fire escape, meaning she didn't need to break through a locked rooftop door. In the end, her death was officially ruled an accidental drowning, with her mental health condition considered a major contributing factor. While the elevator footage remains unsettling, the investigation found no evidence of foul play. And that's it for today's mysteries. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more solved mysteries, cold cases, and unexplained stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.